Hello, this is Sunil Sundaraju with njvarsity.rivals.com. I'm happy to welcome in Wayne Valley High School football senior offensive lineman Jack Freed. Jack, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me.
No problem.
Hey, congrats, Jack, on a great career there at Wayne Valley High School. Again, you've had some time now here to sit back and think about your accomplishments there. I mean, just what comes to your mind first, Jack?
I mean, definitely being a part of that state championship team was a great experience. Obviously, I didn't play too much that season, but I definitely was a big part of the scout team. Loved competing with everyone and just making us better for game week every week and win it week in and win out. And there was nothing better than winning that state championship, and that whole run was just a great run in general.
No, that's agreed. I mean, you said you talk about that team and that year. I mean, the fact that in that game against Northern Highlands, you guys fell behind big early, and the fact that you guys were able to recover and then rally to defeat them 21-17. But can you talk about that season and just the team itself, and just again, you guys got on a really a good roll. I mean, all season long you played extremely well, but just what was that like? I mean, just that carrying that momentum into MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, it was. I felt it was one of the closest teams I've been a part of. Definitely. We were actually a smaller team, group like number wise, but
Hmm.
we made huge efforts definitely before that season to kind of bond as a team, get to know each other, know our ins and outs, and that I think really helped going into the season. I think that we had so much experience going into that season. We kind of knew this would be the time to try to take one over.
Hmm.
And week in and week out, we worked really hard. Um, our scout team had a lot of kids who had the ability to play on that varsity level and made so many kids better. It was fun. I would say that whole playoff run was special. It's definitely going to be one to remember for in the Wayne Valley history. So
Yeah,
just an exciting thing overall.
yeah, no doubt about it, Jack. First sectional title, I think, win in or championship win since 1991. And you're talking about a quarter of a century. I mean, that is truly historic. I mean, I'm sure for the players, the coaches, the program, the high school, and then the town of Wayne. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that.
Definitely. Yep.
Just talk about 2020 again. Life got turned upside down, Jack, with the COVID-19 pandemic. You guys didn't know if you were going to have a season or not, and I know that it didn't probably go exactly the way you guys wanted as a senior class. But the fact that you guys were able to play the game of football, can you just talk about as seniors how important that was to you?
I mean, it meant the world to me, and I know it meant the world to a lot of kids on our team. Going even in before the season, we had a long Zoom call with our coach talking about we don't know when we're gonna have a season, but we know when we do, we will be ready.
Yeah.
And I think at one point there was a little bit lack of motivation, and that's when the seniors kind of took over, and we started posting videos on Twitter, and the motto started "Find a Way."
Yeah.
And that was huge because everyone on the team started posting videos, and our coach retweeted it. And it was big, more for so for like the younger kids who didn't maybe have the motivation because they're like, oh, I may not play this year.
Hmm.
And I think it kind of brought us all closer, even though we couldn't even be together. We all worked so hard. A lot of people had weight rooms at their house, or they tried to do whatever they could, and that was just the motto: find a way. I mean, we had many of our linemen I know pushing cars, just trying to get the best leg workout, just something to mirror what an offensive lineman would
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. One of the questions, drawing inspiration, what the motto was, the message going into the season. Personally, for you, Jack, just training, said for leading up until you guys got into practice, and then of course the regular season opener.
So it was difficult because we didn't know what we were gonna do. We had to wear masks with everything we did. We were very cautious. We lasted, I think, probably one of the longest teams throughout the season
Hmm.
without getting a shutdown. Probably came down to some of the last games getting
Yeah,
shut down.
yeah,
We did a really good job of listening. Training, it wasn't the same effect, I would say, but I would say we did the best we could with what we had.
hmm,
Um, but we did get better every week of training, every day of training, And I think overall, yeah, we did a really good job. It was just not what some I would say maybe not enough just because of we couldn't come together as early as you would want to as a team. We had to stay in our pods,
Yeah.
which kind of sucked because then you can't really get the mesh of the offense until week one of practice, which is a game scrimmage, and then you got a game the next week.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
that was rough.
yeah. Talk about those first practices and then the scrimmage and then of course the regular season opener. How that panned out for you guys, Jack.
So as a team that had a lot of newcomers experience wise onto the varsity level, I think practice wise we were doing okay. There was ups and downs definitely. Going into the game scrimmage, we were getting a lot better, and then we come out, we play a really tough Clifton team. Actually, one of our captains suffered a really bad injury to his elbow first play of the game, and it was like a punt, and that hurt us. But I mean, his little brother was a big part of the team, and we all got on him quickly. We're like, come on, you gotta step up now. And it wasn't what we all wanted. That scrimmage, we kind of got a little beat up. We were a little outmatched there, I would say, but I think we knew we could do better. I knew we could run the ball. We were really kind of throwing the ball, trying to find out our quarterback situation still. And I think that was a big reason to the result of that. I mean, we were running the ball all over them, no problem. I would say doing that, it was a big wake-up call. I think it was the final wake-up call after the state championship to say, listen, it's got to be earned. We're not going to be given this again. And then we worked our tails off that next week, grinding it, still up, downs. And our coach treated it as if that Monday we kind of had like a tough guy Monday, and we still had a mini scrimmage against each other. And we were still fighting for positions up until, I mean, our quarterback situation wasn't, I don't think, awarded until like the Wednesday of that week. And I think that's a testament to their hard work. They were both very good quarterbacks, and I think any of them could have gone into the game, and we would have still had the same result, which obviously was a really good win. We showed we could dominate the line, even with some smaller kids interior. But it showed that we were back, and we were here to stay, and we weren't giving anything up.
I mean, arguably you and Riverdale, the top teams there, said battling, said for that number one spot there. And it's a real shame we didn't get to see that game. That would have been something to see the top two teams in North Jersey, here in the public schools, facing off against each other. I was just wondering about, I said playing the offensive, alignment. You saying, as you indicated before we came on the air, playing the center position. Just talk about that, trying to get that chemistry, getting that cohesiveness on the line, especially, for this for the 2020 season.
I mean, that was a huge factor in the beginning. Just, I mean, we didn't really have our set line until week one. I mean, our right guard ended up being a sophomore who was pretty small. He was around 180, but he was very physical. Same with our left guard, I would say. It's very physical kids. And then our right tackle, he's very, very big, very strong, very good at pass pro, I would say, and he can also finish blocks. And our left tackle, Gavin McGarity, he's an absolute dude. If you watch this film, you just see him pancaking kids all over the field. And we had it together. We just needed to come together. And once, I mean, it came down to our coaches saying, listen, if we need to echo every single call throughout the line, every play to win a games, we'll do that. And we did. And as soon as just from simple things like calling the front, noticing the front, if I couldn't see something and my tackle saw something saying, hey, Freed, can you see this? Can we change up this blocking scheme? And we did. And that's a testament to our little offensive line coach, Kutzleb, who's an awesome coach. I think he's one of the best in North Jersey right now. Just his technique and the mentality he comes out with practice every day is insane. Hypes us all up. He can relate to us in many ways, and I think he's a big reason to that state championship run last year and the success we're having this year.
I had to ask you, one of the best running backs I think in North Jersey, and you talk across the state, and John Testa. I mean, what was that like blocking for John, and he could bring to the table in terms of the running game?
It's actually a funny situation because me and our right tackle Robert Chaturkin, I mean, we've been blocking for that kid since Pee Wee Bowl. So we've known for years that this kid is special. We've known, So it never a surprise to us that he
Yeah,
would get the opportunity he got at Marist.
yeah.
We're so happy and proud for him. It almost and we could say this the day he got the offer, we actually were at practice,
Okay.
and it felt like to us like we got the offer because we helped him, and he was such a hard worker,
Yeah.
humble through it all, never talked, always knew his place. He wasn't gonna, he was a big leader by example
Hmm.
throughout that state championship run, and he's probably one of the toughest kids. And I can share a story real quick. He
Yeah.
in our semifinal game against Nutley, our 8th grade year, this kid single-handedly ran the ball down Nutley's throat and broke his shoulder, but continued to play the game, won the game
Wow.
for us, sacrificed his body,
Mm.
couldn't play in the Super Bowl, and I would think that was honestly one of the reasons we lost that game.
Yeah.
He's just a special player. Some people doubt him, but it's you just can't deny him.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
won't be denied in his positive yards every play. It's just hard to stop a kid like that.
Yeah. People don't realize or recognize the fact how much punishment you guys absorb, especially all over. Week after week, and be able to said recover from them. That is not easy, and we also know it's a mental game as well. I had to ask you, as the weeks were going on, and knowing that the season was going to draw to a close, and again, the last couple of games, getting canceled, but what was going through your mind, Jack? Like knowing that your career was wrapping up there on the football field. What were the emotions? I'm just
I think especially not only as me as a senior, but all of the seniors kind of knew that it wasn't so much that this could be our last week of football. It was every practice. This could be our last day of practice. Yeah. And we worked extremely hard as seniors to let the underclassmen know, even don't be selfish to us. We're not going to be selfish to you. Mm-hmm. We all are in this together, and you guys have about three years of football left in you. A lot of them. That's what we say to them. We're like, you have a lot of football left in you. Yeah. Some of us as seniors aren't going to play in college for one reason or another. Mm-hmm. So let us finish our careers out, and as if you would like if you were in our situation. And they really took that, and they did a really well job of it. Across the board, we were really good with it. It was just a mentality of this could be our last day, every day of practice, and we worked hard every day to absorb it and come together as a team. Especially the last practice was probably very hard. Mm-hmm. The last practice we didn't even know it was our last practice type of thing because we got canceled that day of the game, which was a very tough situation for us.
How was it with limited family in the stands, hardly any fans. Not having that true essence of having, cheerleaders and the marching band. It's just, the experience of Friday Night Lights or, even a Saturday afternoon during the fall, Jack.
I would say it was very difficult. Not having, my full family wasn't at every game like I probably would have wanted to for one reason or another. But the fans, I would say, for the bigger games, like Hills, is a big factor, definitely. Yeah. That was kind of sad to see them not be able to kind of come to a conclusion. That was probably the biggest struggle that week, of getting tickets, even for the seniors. Yeah. And it was at the point where sophomores were starting to sacrifice their tickets, and we were like, we're not gonna. It's still your family's choices, so we're not gonna take your tickets like that. But it's a big difference. I'm happy the cheerleaders, they got their experience as their seniors. That was I was very happy and grateful for them to have that. And the marching band, they got a tough run, especially with the away games not being able to attend. But they did get they got their few home games, but they're honestly a great factor in home games. Just the momentum that they bring behind us when it's a big stop and they're playing that music. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. I have to ask you about the rivalry against Wayne Hills, and then also what that jersey, putting that Wayne Valley jersey on every week, meant to you, Jack.
So starting off with the rivalry, we all know, and I personally think it's the best rivalry for many different reasons. You're growing up in the atmosphere, no matter what. From the time you step into youth, you know what's going to happen when you get to high school. And I would say it's a rivalry between the schools. I think a lot of players on each team respect each other. I've played with a lot of those kids, especially like Noah Beat is a great kid. Stanley Osback, those kids, I love them. I would do a lot for them. And we always kept in touch week to week. Like, good luck. Hopefully, like your season's not getting canceled this week. That was big. But game day, game week, it's obviously we're not really talking until the day of or the night of, right after the game. I think it was especially tough, especially like right after the game, not being able to like go say hey to them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we just played a full game of football and they weren't letting us just go say hey to the kids that we've been playing with for so many years.
Yeah.
I mean, and then going into I mean, it's an honor to wear a Wayne Valley football jersey. There's so much tradition behind it. Obviously, you may know that Wayne Valley was this school before there was a Wayne Hills. So going back to so many years ago, to wear the same colors that so many have fought for the team on the field. My best friend's dad played on the field. Some of our coaches have played on that field. It's a true honor to wear the blue and white. And I don't think it's going to be the same. I mean, in college, yes, you're going to fight for your colors, but it's a brotherhood that you grow up watching and dreaming about playing for. Definitely.
Hey, going back to that 2019 season, I had to ask you about what it was like at MetLife Stadium. That experience, locker rooms, on the field.
Yeah.
Just can you talk about that, Jack?
I mean, locker rooms special. I mean, I could actually go into it. Back in the 2016 loss, me and my friend who actually played on the team this year, Joseph Fight, we got the honor of being the ball boys for that game.
Oh, okay.
So for that Wayne Hills, so we kind of knew what the locker room situation was going to be, a special thing. Running onto the field, I mean, it's kind of dark out, but it seems like it's midday, and that's what's probably one of the cooler things. I mean, running onto that field and saying, hey, some of the best players to ever do it have stepped on this field and we get the chance to be on here tonight is truly special. I definitely think we didn't take it for granted. We fought hard and we came out with the W, and I think everyone was satisfied with that game and that experience.
Hey, the rushing onto the field, hoisting up a trophy, I mean, what was that environment? Just talk about the just elation, just the exuberation of being able to do that.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So, I actually got the chance. Me and my friend Lewis, we got the chance to shower Coach K with the Gatorade. You may see some pictures around of that. That was fun. No, but when that final whistle blew and we were the champions, I think everyone was like, all right, it was time, and it was and they worked so hard for this, and I'm so happy for every one of those seniors, and I'm so happy we got that done.
Yeah, you mentioned, of course, head coach Roger Cartlars. So what is it about Coach Cartlars that he brings, some of the intangibles he brings to the table, that, again, developing, of course, that winning culture there at Wayne Valley, championship culture?
Yep, definitely. I mean, he's great in the locker room, on the field. I think one of the biggest things he brings is the science behind the game and in the weight room. I mean, that's his profession, is exercise science. He's amazing down to team meals and knowing what we should drink and eat before games. And then just on the field, he's got a brain like no others. I mean, what he's thinking about the whole game when you may just be thinking about one or two plays.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he wants to do in every game. He knows what has to get done week in and week out to win that game that week. And I believe he is truly one of the best coaches in New Jersey right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always excited to play under him. He's got the right amount of fire. He's going to get on you, and like any coach would. But I think he's honestly a very good coach.
Great. Just have a couple more. Can't thank you enough for the time, Jack. I wanted to pivot to Wayne Valley High School itself. Was remote learning in 2020, but as far as the student body, athletic director, administration, can you just, even this town of Wayne, we can talk about the support you've received from some of those branches there.
I have a very good relationship with the athletic director, Drozjak. Very good guy. I mean, you see him around the hallways, you're talking to him. And he honestly supports every aspect of Wayne Valley football. And the town of Wayne gets behind us all the time, whether it's fundraising, whether it's game day. The school gets behind us. I mean, I think it's truly such a great culture to be a part of at Wayne Valley, and I think unless you're there, you don't understand it.
Hmm.
Because some people were like, "Oh, it's just Wayne Valley; they're just a public school," but
Yeah.
it's truly something special to be a part of. Just everyone like going around Wayne. If I'm wearing a Wayne Valley football sweatshirt, they're like, "Go get it done this year," and it's just such a good feeling because you know they have your back.
Great. As we know, Jack, it's just not about being an athlete. You're also a student athlete. Can you talk about how you've been able to just balance out the books and then so of course playing the game of football? I said it is a very demanding process as far as practice, game time. I mean, watching film, a bunch of stuff that you do. But can you talk about that aspect?
It was definitely a struggle a little bit for me early on in my career. But it wasn't so much as just football. It was because I mean I took part in my freshman year. I was a football player, a wrestler, a baseball
Yeah.
player. I was the president of the freshman class, and then going into my sophomore year, I was still a part of student council, and I was still playing football and baseball.
Yeah.
And I think Wayne Valley football does a great job about getting behind your books. They're checking up on your grades. They're talking. I mean, a lot of them are teachers, so they're talking around. They know if something's going wrong in class, and we definitely. I mean, during the week we'll have at least one practice that's we actually move later in the day because our coach wants to make sure we have time for study hall to get our work done. I mean, this year obviously we're at home doing it because of COVID, but he definitely cares about our academics more than athletics, which he should because it's our future. But yeah, I mean, I would say it was a struggle for me in the beginning, but going into my junior and senior year, I definitely picked up on the academics more, and I'm happy with where I'm at and going into college.
That's great. Just back to the athletics part, playing baseball and wrestling. I always ask, guys who are, say play multiple sports, how important that is towards playing another sport. I'm just curious, like, with the game of football, how those two other sports, impacted, said with football as well, Jack.
Yep. Wrestling. I did that freshman year. I heard very many great things about it and what it builds character in football, and just as a lineman, just hand fighting and learning
Yeah.
that. Not wrestling the rest of my career was more so about the grades and then the time consuming aspect.
Mhm.
Like there was points in time where I was just getting sick every day because I was so. I mean, the wrestling was so intense because they have
Yeah.
such a great program at Valley. So that helped football with conditioning. That helped football with hand fighting and just becoming more of a man there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different in football. You have 11 other you have 10 other kids on your team
Mhm.
at a time, brothers fighting with you, and then when you're on that wrestling mat, you're by yourself and you got to fight for yourself, and that's a great thing to learn for football. And then I mean baseball. I wouldn't say so much that it would really help me in
Yeah.
football,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a sport I really love. I did get the chance of playing under two of the coaches that I have in football, so
Okay.
so just building a better relationship with them. A couple of the kids, I mean, John Test, I played baseball with,
Hmm.
Joey Fight. So playing with them, it just builds a better relationship. I wouldn't say so much it helps athletically for football. I mean, you're running a lot, but it was a little bit of a struggle in the weight room during baseball, just because especially, I mean, I'm a pitcher, so benching during pitching wasn't probably the best move for me at some points in my career.
Yeah.
But it builds teamwork for sure because you're still a part of a team.
Mhm.
And I enjoy baseball a lot because it's a relaxing sport. It's not a sport that I'm butting my head every play.
Yeah.
I don't got to worry about too many injuries. I just get to relax, have fun, and yeah, I really love baseball as well.
Great. I wanted to ask you about the college process, how that is going for you, Jack. I know you've received, said a number of offers. Just, what the latest is with that.
Yeah, so college is a very inspiring, and it's a very cool experience to go through.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling to be wanted and to know that you're at that athletic capability to be recruited. Um, and I always thank every single college coach that's recruiting me. It's going to definitely be a hard decision coming in the next couple of months to finally pick a school, but I'm humbled to be recruited pretty highly. I mean, every relationship you build with a coach is hard to break it in a couple months when I make my decision. I would say that it's been a little bit of a struggle just because some schools I haven't been able to visit. So that's definitely a struggle. I mean, Zoom calls on Zoom calls on Zoom calls for recruitment it's been a little bit of a struggle to pay attention, fully understand the atmosphere. But I love every single coach that's recruiting me, and I'm excited to continue the process and start narrowing it down very soon and making a final decision.
Great. I don't want to forget family. If you want to talk about parents, if you have any siblings, just what they've meant to you in this
Yep.
journey, Jack.
So I am one of three kids.
Okay.
So I have my older sister Dory. She's just turned 20 this year.
Okay.
She goes to East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and she's actually majoring in I think early childhood education and special education as well.
Okay.
And then I actually have a twin sister, Sarah. She's very smart, helps me when I need it in academics, and she's gonna go on to do some great things in college with her academics for sure. My mom and dad, of course, very very supportive of me and all my endeavors with athletics, academics, and whatever I want to do.
Mhm.
They get behind me 100%, but they do give me a kick in the butt when it's needed for
Yeah.
sure.
That's great. I was just curious with when it comes to following like offensive linemen, college game, pro NFL. If there are any players that you definitely pay attention, close attention to, Jack.
Yeah. So as a center, I mean, I'm a center guard type of kid. The first player that I really watched was Nick Mangold from the New York Jets.
Mm.
I mean, the way he played the game and the way he led was amazing. And I watched him because I'm a Jet fan. I have season tickets. I watched him every Sunday. So that was probably the first guy. And then coming up more into high school and being kind of understanding more of the game, watching Quentin Nelson in the league for the past few years has been really special. I mean, he's a special talent that's going to go on for years. But I would say a big part is actually, especially recently, I attend Pro Edge up in Wayne, and they're been a huge part of my my success as well these past couple of years.
Yeah.
They really bring another element to it, and Coach Mack from the offensive line, he's a special guy to learn from. And then just the opportunities there, like meetings. I mean, some of the kids I work out with today, I mean, they're going to have big chances of going to the NFL from teams like Pitt University, University of Rhode Island. I've been talking to a kid from University of New Haven a lot recently. He's a very good guy, and just being able to work out with them and to learn different stuff they've learned in college, what helps them succeed. It's going to be, I think, a very big factor in my college my success coming soon.
It's terrific. Final question I have, Jack, is that being a senior, the fact that as you talked about guys you played with for a long time, but that experience factor, so passing on down to the younger freshmen and it said sophomores, the underclassmen. But of course, you were there at one point as a freshman, and I'm curious also, like I said, the guys who you played with, Pee Wee junior football, we're also trying to say, look, we want to play varsity football one day at Wayne Valley. What your message is, or your advice is to younger kids and athletes.
Yep. My advice to the younger kids are always get in the weight room. I mean that's the biggest thing for me is get in the weight room. Build a leading character. Never be a follower. Be a leader. Work on your craft every day that you can, and I would say build a big relationship team wise. Don't be selfish. It shouldn't be a take mine mentality where I'm gonna get mine before you get yours. And I've seen it in some kids that are underclassmen already. That especially the one kid Nick Cremona who played a lot of varsity football this year, and I'm very proud of him for how he stepped up in our program. And then there's many kids that I mean just from driving them home and having conversation about what they want to do it for Wayne Valley football, and I always tell them what they need to get done. I mean, it's different for every kid, definitely. Yeah. But the big message is do your best, be a team player. You're not going to always start varsity. I didn't start varsity as a junior. I didn't play much, but I was there on scout team every day, making kids better, making our team better. And then when I got my opportunity, I showed what I could do. And then that's just the way high school football works sometimes. So you just got to stick it out and keep the grind going. We always say at Valley, embrace the grind. It's not always going to be easy, but it shouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
If it's easy, then you're doing something. The coaches are doing something wrong.
Well said. Hey, Jack, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity, again, to interview you. You definitely, I said, are an inspiration. I think a lot of people are going to take away so many positives, said from this interview. And congratulations again on your success there at Wayne Valley High School. And again, wishing you all the best, of course, with upcoming graduation in several months, and then, of course, with college in the fall.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Thank you.